The arena in Abu Dhabi pulsed with anticipation. A roaring sea of fans packed into Etihad Arena under the blazing desert sun. The octagon gleamed at the center, a battleground where dreams and legacies collide. Tonight's main card featured a middleweight clash that had the MMA world buzzing. REINIER D. RIDDER, the Dutch submission maestro and former One Championship double champion, against Bo Nickel, the American wrestling prodigy with an unblemished record and a chip on his shoulder. The air crackled with tension as the lights dimmed, and the iconic voice of Bruce Buffer boomed through the speakers, cutting through the noise like a blade. "Ladies and gentlemen, it's time," he bellowed, his words igniting the crowd. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, from Breda, Netherlands, ABJJ black belt, standing 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 185 pounds, REINIER D. RIDDER. The Dutchman strode to the cage, his face a mask of focus, eyes locked on the octagon as he shadowboxed with precision. The crowd's cheers washed over him, but he seemed impervious, lost in his own world of calculated violence. Buffer's voice rose again, and his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, from Rifle, Colorado, an NCAA wrestling champion, undefeated in MMA, standing 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 185 pounds, Bo Nickel. Nickel bounced out, all coiled energy, his boyish grin belying the wrecking ball he'd become in the cage. The fans erupted, some chanting his name, others waving Dutch flags for D. RIDDER. This was no ordinary fight, it was a collision of grappling titans, each with something to prove. D. RIDDER, the seasoned veteran, wanted to cement his place in the UFC's stacked middleweight division. Nickel, the rising star, aimed to show his wrestling dominance could overpower even the most elite submission artists. The referee, a grizzled veteran of countless battles, signaled for the fighters to touch gloves. They did, a brief moment of respect before the storm. The bell rang, and the fight exploded into motion. D. RIDDER circled, his long frame moving, with a predator's grace, pawing with a jab to gauge distance. Nickel, compact and explosive, wasted no time, darting forward and shooting for a double-leg takedown. The crowd gasped as he drove through D. RIDDER's hips, lifting and slamming him to the canvas with the ease of a man tossing a duffel bag. "What a start!" the play-by-play commentator shouted, his voice barely audible over the roaring fans. "Nickel's wrestling is on another level." D. RIDDER, unfazed, worked from his back, his legs snaking around Nickel's waist in a closed guard. The Dutchman's jiu-jitsu was his calling card, and he was already hunting for a submission, his hands gripping Nickel's wrists to control posture. Nickel, though, was no stranger to the ground. He postured up, breaking free, and landed a vicious elbow that split the air with a crack. A trickle of blood appeared on D. RIDDER's forehead, drawing a cheer from the pro-Nickel fans. "That's the power we've seen from Bo," the color commentator chimed in. "He's not just a wrestler, he's got dynamite in those hands." D. RIDDER, calm under pressure, shifted his hips, angling for a triangle choke. Nickel sensed the danger, stacking his opponent's legs and passing to half guard with a fluidity that showcased his NCAA pedigree. The crowd was on its feet, sensing the chess match unfolding. D. RIDDER, refusing to be smothered, threw up an armbar attempt, but Nickel yanked his arm free and answered with a flurry of ground and pound. The round was slipping away, and D. RIDDER needed a moment. With 30 seconds left, he exploded into a sweep, using Nickel's momentum to reverse positions. Now on top, D. RIDDER rained down a few tentative strikes, but Nickel scrambled back to his feet. The two exchanged blows. In the final seconds, Nickel's crisp 1-2 combo met by D. RIDDER's stinging knee in the clinch. The horn sounded, and the arena vibrated with excitement. "What a round!" the commentator exclaimed. "Nickel's wrestling edge versus D. RIDDER's submission threat. This is MMA at its finest." Round 2 began with a shift in energy. D. RIDDER, perhaps stung by the early, Nickel bucked and twisted, but D. RIDDER's control was suffocating. Elbows rained down, each one thudding against Nickel's arms as he covered up. The American's face was a mask of determination, but the tide was turning. D. RIDDER, sensing the finish, flattened his opponent and slipped his arm under Nickel's chin. The rear naked choke was locked in, the crowd screaming as Nickel's face reddened. He fought valiantly, his hands clawing at D. Ridder's forearms, but the Dutchman's grip was iron. With seconds ticking away, Nickal's resistance faded, and his hand tapped the mat. The referee dove in, waving it off at 3:42 of round 2. The arena exploded as D. Ridder released the choke and rose, arms raised in triumph. "REINIER D. Ridder does it," the commentator roared. A masterful submission win over the unbeaten Bo Nickal. As the dust settled, Buffer took the mic. "Your winner, by submission, REINIER D. Ridder." The Dutchman soaked in the moment, a rare smile breaking across his face as he acknowledged the cheering fans. Nickal, ever the sportsman, nodded respectfully, his eyes already burning with the hunger of a man who'd be back. The commentators broke down the fight, their voices thick with excitement. "D. Ridder just showed why he's one of the most dangerous grapplers in the world," one said. "That choke was textbook, and he weathered Nickal's early storm to find his moment." The other added, "Bo Nickal's still a star, no question. This loss will only make him better. But tonight, D. Ridder proved he's a force in this division." The octagon emptied, the fighters retreating to their corners, but the energy lingered. Fans chanted both names, a testament to the heart both men left in the cage. D. Ridder's win sent ripples through the middleweight ranks, a statement that the former one champ was here to stay. For Nickal, it was a rare setback, but his youth and talent promised a swift return. The Abu Dhabi night faded, but the memory of this